at the hospital?
Someone shot there.
All right, the ET doesn't take pictures of the, is it domestic related?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, she's calling back. We're going to try to give her a call again, and then she just added another phone number to the 13-year-old grandson who's possibly with the daughter. Step out with this.
2412.
Veteran crisis hotline calling in, so they have a female veteran off her medication. She's at work to Safe Haven. Detective 12, take a check that one out.
6 Rumble, 2 1 try to get shots going.
Officer still stands for time? No.
Offender in custody?
Anyone else close, might just see what's up, let me know. 10-5, Winchester. Danny, the father and the owner of the vehicle. Fine, thank you. 7 full tip.
Yeah, we got to get that green wave in the background there. Hopefully, y'all can hear me. It's the first on the road studio show that we've had since we've been here. We've just been doing live streams uh, since we've been here. So hopefully, well, I don't. Where's my circle? Hold on. There we go. Get the new circle up there. Kind of tilt that up a little bit. All right. First studio show since we've been here out in Myrtle Beach on this trip. There's some contribution call outs we need to call out. I want to say thank you very much for that. Can you guys hear me okay? Let me know. Let me know if I need to turn it up. Maybe I'll turn it up some more. How's that? Is that okay? Let me know if that's okay. Uh let me see here. Let's do some contribution call outs real quick. Then I'll go through the last couple days, let you know the next couple, and then the next couple after that. We'll kind of give you some updates of what we got going on. Plus, our team is going to be expanding as well, our boots on the ground team. And we'll be introducing those new members for you this weekend. I'm excited to do that. It's going to be justice for all victims, and it's going to be throughout. So I'm excited to introduce all of them to you. It's going to be a lot of effort going on. Even if we aren't here on a certain location, we're still going to be here helping no matter what. That's the important thing. Contribution call out. What's up with my comments? Everything changed. I don't like that. Beach Bell, super sticker $9.99. Let me see if it's still available. It is. It's a lady with the pink hair saying thank you and thank you for your $9.99 super sticker and the contribution. Also, I want to say contribution call out to Tammy Jeffrey Davis for a membership of 4 months. You'll be having that 6+ soon. All right, hold on. What the hell's going on with my StreamYard? Hold on, we need to fix this. What is this here? Okay, is that what we're doing? Is that they changed it? Oh, this is what it is. There we go. They changed it. StreamYard making updates. Okay. There we go. All right. Let's get rid of this screen. Come on, StreamYard. There we go. All right. Let's do some contribution or some shout outs here from the chat. Then I'm going to go through everything coming up here that we got going on. Fly Girl, Baby Angel. She was a terror all day, and she's napping on a comforter right now. She's just chilling out. Yes, because she was. I think what took place is her mom probably just because when we rescued her, uh, the vet said that she was just a few weeks old, um, and she was by herself crying, uh, infection all over her face, her eyes. She could barely breathe, um, and it's like the mom just kinda, like, pushed her off to the side because she you know what I mean? Sometimes cats, they just push some of their litter off because they're just sick, you know? Um, it's been a it's been a crazy time, plenty time at the vet, that's for sure, a lot of medicine. We got her as healthy as we could get her, um, but, she's still going to be having some health issues, so, I found that out, about a week ago, maybe a little more, about a week, yeah, about a week and a half ago, uh, the last vet visit, found out that she's still got a lot more health stuff that we have to, so definitely need your energy for that because it could be a very difficult road. Um, and she's such a beautiful, calm, peaceful, loving kitty. Uh, so, but that's for another day. That's for another day. But yes, that is what's going on. Fly Girl number 2, thank you. Katrina number 5. What's up, Samantha Joy? F around and find out. We, you need to make like your own little channel. F around and find out. I love it. Debbie Costa Rica, what's up? Number 7. Caddy number 8, thank you. Hide and Seek number 11. Kibby Kitty number 14. What's up, Busby? Ticket 15, thank you. Appreciate it. April number 20. Miriam number 21. Yeah, it's tough. We'll talk about it here. We'll probably do like a members only or something because it's tough to talk about. But we just need your energy. Kitty needs your energy for sure. She needs your healing energy. What's up, Michael number 1? She definitely needs it. Trust me. What's up, Yoli? Thank you for hopping in. Appreciate you. Thank you. I want to say an extra thank you to Yoli um, for reaching out and offering your help when it comes to the protester situation and stuff like that. I just want to say thank you for your communication in regards to that. So I appreciate that. Number 27, thank you. Not feeling well. I hope you feel better. I'm kind of been under the weather, but it's been emotions, not as in like a virus, but under the weather up here, just emotions and stuff. A lot of stuff going on at the same time and a lot of stuff to think about and stuff like that. So. Danny D, ticket 29. Thank you so much. We all need a break sometimes. I just had to take a couple day break. Especially after the benefit there. It was almost like once the benefit came for Micah and all of that energy and effort and pushing that we were doing for all this time since the beginning, it's all like it came to head and it was just like, it was a couple days of just, I even had to scrap after the protests. We were heading up to Lumber River State Park with some of the protesters, and I was getting footage, and I even had to scrap some of the footage, basically all of it, because halfway through My body had been pushing so much. I had been running on nothing but fumes for too many days. And literally, it just got to a point like halfway through where I just said F it and just put the whole setup on my shoulder because I couldn't even, I couldn't even do it anymore. That's the first time that I've pushed myself to that max. So I just had to take a couple days off. What's up, Analytical Ticket 36 Moonlight? Thank you, Katrina. What's up, Katrina? Lori Stewart. What's up, Matthew 39? Ticket 4338. Sunset Gazing aboard the Mystery Train. That's right, hide and seek. Thank you, and I appreciate you all because seriously, I mean it when I say it. I couldn't do it without you guys, and I mean that. What's up, Karen Fisher? Yes, thank you so much. It means a lot. It is, and plus a lot of the stuff that I'm working on the other cases, and just all that. It is. It's a lot. It's a lot. And that's why I even encourage anybody. If it gets to a certain point, just take a couple day break. And if you come back in a couple days didn't help, then take a couple more because we'll always be here. We'll always be here. So, yeah, what an effort with justice for Micah. It's not over. We still got a lot to do, but we're going to be doing some stuff. What's up, Gambies? taking a break from scrubbing floors. That sounds like a nice break, honestly. There's two things I can't. I hate scrubbing floors, and I hate painting. I hate painting walls. Two things. I'll build a wall. I'll do everything else, but painting, yeah, I can't. Man, you all distracted me. All right, but we did a lot of work with Micah. We're still going to be doing work, because we still got fisherman work. We still got Lumber River State Park work. We still got a lot of the stuff going on in the background. You know what I mean? When it comes to Beyond Bethlehem AME Church, we still got that. We still have a lot of stuff to do. We're going to be, and I can work on that stuff while we're at a different location because for the next few days this week, I'm going to be doing a lot of work on Amber Berbelia's case. If you haven't heard of that, definitely check it out on some of our live streams a couple days ago. Definitely check out the dash cam. It's messed up. Check out the episode when we had special guest Jill on and we broke down. She did a beautiful transcript of the dash cam, and you guys are going to be amazed with what you hear because we definitely were. There is no justice for Amber so far because there's nothing. And the new boots on the ground team that we're going to be introducing this weekend is going to be they're going to be taking that boots on the ground and they're going to be hitting hard for Amber, and I'm going to be able to work remotely. I'll be working in Tennessee. So after the next couple days of us working on Amber here, then I'm going to be going back to Tennessee. We're going to be heading back there. We're going to be doing some work out there coming up here. And then also there's some other families that have reached out to me in Tennessee as well that I'm going to be going to help as well. So it'll be we'll be in Tennessee for a while. We'll make our way back here. It won't be every week. We'll make our way back here probably in about a month. We'll still have boots on the ground, a great team out there. I can't wait to introduce them to you. And it's going to be part of an effort where it's something that's going to be nationwide here in the future, where we're going to have different teams out there, and we're going to be able to give 150% effort no matter where I'm at. It's going to be a great thing. So that'll be in the future. But this is going to be the beginnings of that. So it's going to be exciting, and I can't wait. And there's a lot of other cases in Myrtle Beach here too, that we're definitely going to be bringing attention as well, because it seems like there's a lot of this that goes on around here. So that's going to be the plans for the next recent future. And so I just kind of wanted to give you guys a heads up and let you know what's going on. All right, so I want to share some things with you real quick. Amber needs a color. Amber has a color. It is pink. Amber's color is pink. Yeah. So if you want to drop some purple hearts or pink hearts, and also justiceforamber.org if you want to go there. And if you're not familiar, just type in Evil CJ, Amber, BERBIGLIA, and you'll be able to see. We did a few episodes. Definitely check out the one where we had special guest Jill on there, where we were breaking down the dash cam. It's a tough one, you guys. It's definitely a tough one, and her family needs some answers, and her family deserves some answers, a lot more answers than what they've ever gotten for the last 11 years. And so we're going to do what we can, and I think we can find some answers. We got a great team coming up here. So, all right, I want to share this with you guys. And this was pretty disturbing, honestly. Hold on, I gotta move my coffee cup. Where can I put this? Let's put it over here. Let's take a drink first. And thank you all for being in here. What's up, Nikki? Lori, appreciate you. Thank you all for being in here. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It is the free way to help out. Okay, I want to share this with you guys. This is pretty this is kind of like, so a long time ago, May, I think it was May, I don't know, Busby, let me know if you remember. I think it was May. After our searches were done, and we're going to go into a couple things we've already kind of discussed and put out there. Back in May, that's when I always kind of refer to everybody and have since. Busby, if you're not doing that, then you want to hop up, let me know, because you can kind of tell this story too. I don't know if Trey's in here or not. Me and Busby and Trey were me and Trey were out there on the boat. What's up, Rachel? Thank you, 62 at lane 65. Oh, yes, there we go. Green, purple, and pink. Look at Nikki. Shout out, Nikki. Yeah, hit them all. Look at Caddy. Hit them all. Hit them all. Thank you. Trey and I were out there, and actually, I've never even released that footage. Let me make a note of that, because that's a lot of footage. There's a lot of at night too. Let me find it, and I'll try and upload them for you guys, for you members. I'll upload that. So basically, and I don't know, Busby, where were we at? What lake were we searching? What lake were we searching? Thank you, Debbie, Costa Rica. But after we were done, we were out there. It was dark. It was probably dark for a good 3 hours before we were done. Before we came back in, it was late. It had to be like 10, 10:30, something like that. Kitty won a spot on Cap. Oh, that's awesome, Nikki. It was like 10, 10:30. It was late. It was dark. We were standing there, and it's like, we all just were like, after all these searches, we started out at the end of March, mid end March. We started out. We had a lot of boots on the ground out there initially, and then we ended up about a month later. We ran into uh, Busby and Trey. Thank you, Cupcake 66. And after middle of May or so, it was like, man, after all these searches, the boots and the boats, you know, all these different areas, different lakes, different woods, different paths, different areas all over the place. And we stood there and we're like, this is crazy. After all this time, we've never found one little thing. Nothing. Not nothing. Not only during our searches, but other people's searches as well. Sometimes they would come up with stuff. We debunk the pants the same day that they came out. Uh, you're already hearing stories about that now when it comes to that stuff. That's not something that we're legit, Uh, when it comes to some are about the clicks and views. It's not what it is with us. We're about the truthful news, not the clicks and views. And so, hey, some people do certain things or whatever. But after all that time, even with all the different law enforcement searches, the different searches by other groups, the different searches from even other organizations, there was still no sign, no direction, no nothing. And at that point, when the searches were done, it was like, man, there had to be something. That whole time, because we're just going off of what law enforcement is reporting. Law enforcement is reporting that it was a runaway. Okay, that he walked out the house, that he left out the house. That's how you have to approach the searches. After we got to that point and we're standing there that late night after we were all done, and it's just like, man, I don't understand. That's when my mind, on the drive back home, that's when in my mind I sat there and I'm going, it's got to be trafficking. Hendersonville, it's so dark there at night. It's literally right outside Nashville. The people that are in the Nashville hub that take place in the trafficking don't even have to go that far to a small community that's a trusting community, that's a not well lit community. Let's be honest, a not well lit community. And you mix all that together, and you almost feel like the city in Hendersonville should put up some kind of bill or something that can fund the city lights there just to protect their community. Because honestly, you're talking about right outside of Nashville. What's up, Wendy67? Thank you. You're talking right outside of Nashville. So after we got done that night and I'm driving back and I'm sitting there going, it's a 3 hour drive, 2.5, 3 hour drive. And I'm sitting there going, it's got to be trafficking. Because if it was running away or leaving the house, there would be something by now, and you got to exclude stuff that doesn't make sense, Now, this was back in May, and I was trying to kind of, I'm trying to be like, yo, hey, this is something we really got to consider. Think about it. Nashville's a major hub. And, it's almost in the Midwest. Like, that's why I say if it really was trafficking, I wouldn't be surprised if he went west a state or two, and that's where he's at. Like, seriously, a couple states away to the west. The major hubs are in the Midwest when it comes to this trafficking. The coasts in the middle of the country, because it goes either way. And usually with, you're talking Nashville, you're talking a state or two to the left. And that's why I kind of always felt since then Oklahoma. I don't know why. It's just a feeling that I have, Oklahoma. But anyway, you look at all the different things that take place, the activity. I mean, Trinity Bostic, just different cases to name a few. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff that's taken place. Again, it's right outside Nashville. When we were doing Riley strain searches and talking to the communities, they were talking about how dangerous it is, not only in Nashville, but extensions out of it. And if there's a lot of that takes place there, it's just 15-20 minutes up northeast, not very far. Oh yeah, Memphis. When we went through Memphis, we did our searches in the Yogi Bear campground back in April. I think that was right before we met up with Busby and Nart. Right before that, we went down and searched in Memphis and was it Mississippi? Was that where it was at? Mississippi? That was crazy too. But this is the kind of stuff that you got to take it seriously. From Nick Barris, NC5. Busted and accused of more than 50 child underage sexual crimes. Police in Hendersonville and Gatler, Tennessee arrested 59-year-old Daniel Charles Harris. He faces multiple charges stemming from an investigation that began on October 2nd. The charges are as follows, and I'll go ahead and just let you read them. Look at that. An investigation that began on October 2nd. Now, when it comes to the reward, think about it. And you even heard Jennifer Coffindaffer on in her episode last night say they don't just offer that kind of reward when it comes to a runaway. But you're looking at all of this right here. Look at this. Again, this is right outside Nashville. This is why at the end of our search on that lake that night, and we stood there and each one of us were like, man, this is crazy. We've not come across one thing. We've not come across one thing. And on that drive home, that's when I'm like, it's got to be trafficking. I mean, gosh, you think about how dark it is, how close it is to Nashville, how close Nashville is to this. You know what I mean? You talk about the video games. That's why since I was talking about the video games, there would be a lot of people ridiculing me, questioning my intelligence, questioning my thought process, and it's like y'all can have fun, but I'm being real. Hold on, where'd that other one go? So here's the other one. So this is what dude looks like. Busby, what lake were we searching that night? What lake were we searching that night? Old Hickory. Thank you, bro. If you're available, bro, let me know. And if you want to hop up, we can talk about that night I was discussing. I'm going to look for that footage and drop it for everybody. I have the footage, I just never published it before. And I'll do that for the members. I'll publish the whole time we were out there on the boat. It got dark, y'all. We were using phones and flashlights and definitely was not prepared to be out there in the dark that long. But look at this. This is so disgusting. And this is right in Hendersonville, Gatlinburg. This stuff exists. So people can ridicule from 6 months ago. That's fine. But when it comes to this team, we're used to getting ridiculed in the beginning because people are like, that don't make no sense. And then time goes on, it's like, holy shit, these people were they think about it. All right, so we're gonna get into this article here. I want to share this with you guys. It's gross. It exists. It's like this. It's like think about it. The manhole or trafficking. Something's up with my camera. Hold on. Can you guys hear me? Hold on. Something's going on here. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm not sure. You see the camera? It's like being weird. Hold on. Let me. There we go. Is that better? Okay. What the heck? I guess I could have left it frozen. That would have been creepy. But no, this stuff exists. It really does. And it's true. I honestly think, and really, when it comes to the manhole, I really honestly feel that yes, the manhole is definitely a possibility. Dog's going to be discussing it. It's something that we put out there a couple months ago. There's part 1 and part 2. When it comes to the breakdown, kind of showing you guys. I mean, matches up with a lot of stuff. All right. And it's definitely possible. But if it comes to, okay, my camera froze again. Okay. So if it comes to percentage wise of percentage of trafficking, considering percentage of manhole, I'm going to say 10%, 15%, 15% manhole, 85% trafficking. That's where I'm at. Do the manholes create some questions? Yes, they do. We were there the beginning of April. You can even hear the live stream on those 2 days where I'm telling you guys, showing you guys about the manhole covers that are missing. Most of them were off. Didn't even have a piece of wood on them. Most of them were just wide open. I'm sitting there going, oh my gosh, that's when I'm instantly going, he could have literally walked out around any of this area and fell down one. And then there's mud at the bottom. There's a lot of mud at the bottom. You slip and fall through one. You break a leg, you break an arm. You're a little kid. You're screaming out there for somebody to help you. Nobody can hear you. Nobody can hear you. And you can't even climb up. So you try and crawl through the tunnels thinking that maybe you can, get out somehow. And unfortunately, when you're looking at this photo right here, I think you would have got stuck. When you're looking at this photo right here, I think you would have got stuck. Now this is from April. This is when this was pretty much half full of mud. This is just a few weeks after. Just a few weeks after. And look, you can see where the mud was at before. You can see the stains right there and where the mud was at before. Somebody's going to get stuck. You try and walk in that, it'll pull. I had my cowboy boots on. Guess what? I didn't even walk in that much mud. And you know how hard it is to pull a cowboy boot off. Guess what? My cowboy boot was coming. It was staying, and my foot was coming out of my cowboy boot when I was in the other retention pond. You're going to tell me that somebody can't get stuck in there in the middle of it? Do I think it's a possible? Look, you still hear people criticizing me for coming up with the theory. Still to this day, you can go on shows from yesterday and hear people criticizing me about the manhole theory. And that too, Matthew. And the cadaver dog hitting on the pond with the water thing. I'm sitting there telling you guys back then, think about any kind of oil you talk about. Motor oil, cooking oil, body oil. Any kind of oil you talk about, what's it do in water? It separates and collects. Think about it. You could pour it in a huge area, and what's it going to do? It's all going to collect and bloop, in its own little circle, and then it's going to float on down. Well, why would the dog be hitting at the pond when it comes to the scent of the water? Because hello, it drains from west to east. It drains. You know what I'm saying? From the houses where the construction area is at, it all goes. The house is on a higher level. The construction area goes down as it gets to the retention pond. As it gets to the next pond, it continues to go down. So of course, oil, uh, oil that's in the water floating down can come from any of these sources, any of these manholes. I'm not even saying this one right here is the specific manhole. I'm not even saying that. Where'd it go? Hold on. This one right here. I'm not even saying this one is the specific manhole. This is just a manhole that's like, hey, a couple months ago, you got to check it out. Now, when we were going around on April 6th and April 7th, and I'm seeing all these manholes, you can hear me from those live searches on April 6th and April 7th of me saying, man, I wonder if he fell down these manholes. Yeah, because ever since, I mean, anybody knows that if you're a sleuther, anybody knows that oil, like I said, pour cooking oil in water in a cup, motor oil, uh, body oil, like anything. There's going to be oil that collects. I mean, just think about when you're a kid. I you know from a kid, from being a kid, looking in water and seeing oil in the water, you know how it has that different color and it's like a rainbow look to it. Ever since you're a kid, you know that oil collects and separates in water. So when it comes to body oil, think about what's on your skin. Oil, right? Oil. What's up, Amy? So when we're out there April 6th and 7th, I'm looking around, we're walking around. There's a canine out there. Cadaver. It's like, man, you're looking at all these these holes and there's no covers on them and you're like, man, not just this one, he could have fell in any of them. And all of that water, because there's only one retention pond over there, and where does it go to? The one retention pond, and then it goes to the next little overflow retention pond a little bit further down. It don't exist anymore because it's dried up. So is the other, the main retention pond. The only pond that does exist now is the one next to the cemetery. The other ones are dried up. We showed you that already too on our last trip there. They're dried up. But that's where that water goes. It doesn't matter if it's to the left, it doesn't matter if it's to the right. It's all going to that retention pond. So any of these manholes, you don't think that a city worker, oops, I accidentally left the lid off last night. Shit, I better go put it on before I get reprimanded for it. Anything could have happened, Anything could have happened. When it comes to the drones being down there, you'll hear Dog talk about the drones. Dolly Vision, I was watching one of his shows a long time ago where he talked about having a drone. It was right after I talked about the manhole stuff a couple months ago, and he was talking about the drone stuff. Dolly Vision says he has a monster truck or something that can go in there. All you have to do is this. He sounded pretty confident, so hopefully Dolly can get his monster truck, and and if we have to go there and create attention to get these manhole covers checked with even just assistance. Hey, is it cool to open it, and you can let the people that have the equipment check it out or whatever. But again, if you want me to give you percentages, I'm giving you like a 15% when it comes to if I really feel like he is in the sewer system. I really feel like it's trafficking. I really do. All right, so we're gonna read this article here real quick, and thank you all for being here. Now it says, Dog the Bounty Hunter boosts search for missing autistic Tennessee teen Sebastian Rogers with 175K reward as new clues. emerged. This was post November 10th, 2024. Uh, what is this? Is this an actual? I'm just going to read it. New breakthroughs have emerged in the search for a missing 15-year-old autistic boy in Tennessee, and celebrity bounty hunter has joined in the effort. Sebastian Rogers, who has high functioning autism, according to his mother, was last seen in Hendersonville home on the evening of February 25th. Search efforts were widespread when Sebastian was first reported missing. That's true because we were there before there was a lot of people showing up. We were already there out there because we came right from Riley Strain and headed right up there. And you know, we experienced our first drive up there. It was like maybe an hour out, hour and a half out, somewhere around there from our first day of showing up, and we were already getting tips with photos and information about certain individuals that were harassing and threatening. So it was pretty interesting. Search efforts were widespread when Sebastian was first reported missing, but cops scaled back their resources after conducting extensive sweeps of the area with no sight of the boy. He also wasn't spotted on any surveillance cameras in the area, according to local news outlets. Celebrity bail officer Dwayne Chapman, better known as Dog the Bounty Hunter, has stepped up to lend a hand to the Rogers family in locating the missing teenager. Chapman says they've already found promising leads. They were actually, and you heard Dog say it before, they were actually, they actually reached out to the Proudfoots too, and offered the services as well so they could work with both sides. And according to Dog, Dog and Nick, Dog was pretty much shot down. So that's why it just says Seth. But Dog did say he did offer to work with them as well, which I think is important because I think you should always offer to to work with all individuals when it comes to it, because it's the best way to lead you to the truth, and the truth is justice, and justice is deserved. Dog Nation, we have new leads from Oregon and New York, and we're moving fast on them. We are confident that our confidential informants have provided valuable new information about those states. So we're raising the reward to $175K. He said in a post, more than 600 followers on X last week. Sebastian was reported missing after his mother went into his room to wake him for school around 6 a.m. on February 26th. Rogers was living with his mother and stepfather at the time, who they said have been cooperating with authorities. In a March interview with WSMV4, Chapman announced in September he'd be joining the search alongside Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers. Now, when it comes to what Katie says, and I want to kind of make a point to this real quick. So, when it comes to what Katie says, okay, Katie says that he went to bed. She says she heard a noise and yelled at him and asked him if he was okay. And he said, yeah. But she heard the thud. Then she says she went to bed after that, got up and went to bed. You know how, like, sometimes when you kind of nod off, remember doing homework? Maybe the phone call with CP was to try and keep her awake so she could stay awake to do her homework. While he's sitting there, hey, you still awake? You still awake? You know how when you're awake and you hear something and you think it's something, but actually it was something else? Maybe he really did walk out the door and the thud was the door shutting. And she was nodded off and she thought the thud was coming from I thought I heard the thud come from the bedroom. Hey, you okay? Now maybe she thought she heard something back. I don't know. It's just really, we'll be going into their interviews coming up here midweek next week. We'll be going into the interviews with the families, kind of going back to them. And when it comes to some of those first interviews, thank you, Rhonda83. When it comes to some of those first interviews, it leaves a lot of room, especially in the beginning and what is being stated as the events that took place that evening. If you really break down the words, it leaves a lot of room for interpretation. So I just wanted to mention that real quick. Now, this one of the most horrendous cases of missing children state's dog that we've ever worked on. The bottom line is if you hurt a child like this, you got a problem. So that is the main motivation for me to be hunting who did this, he said. Chapman is working in tandem with private investigation company. What's up, K-Mac? At Night Intelligence, who say they have found credible leads connected to Oregon and New York, though no verified sightings of Sebastian have been reported. And he says a portion of the proceeds for his upcoming meet and greet in Guntersville, Alabama, will be dedicated to Sebastian Rogers to support him upon his return to home. We won't stop until we bring him back, and that's true. We won't stop. That's why we're here as well. Now it says our investigation has uncovered credible intelligence suggesting key connections in Oregon, neighboring states. We are actively pursuing these leads across multiple states and regions of interest, the intelligence group said in a post on X. Now, y'all know I'm trying to get this camper. If I could have had this, I probably would have made it up to Oregon. My little baby, my little baby beetle will not make it that far. But in the future, we're going to hope, because we're going to take this thing nationwide of the efforts that we're trying to get out there for these communities. We're trying to go nationwide here. Once I can get this camper, we're going nationwide. We're not just going to be Midwest and East Coast. We'll be nationwide. So keep your fingers crossed, need your energy. The group also claimed that they are looking at potential access points near the Canadian border and have notified proper authorities with urgency. At Night Intelligence told the Post in a statement that they are looking ahead to 2025 and have notified President-elect Trump's team about the case. It's not a beetle, but it's a baby beetle because it's a little teeny ass car. We can confirm that important discussions regarding the disappearance of 15-year-old Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers have been held with members of former President Donald J. Trump's team. The incoming administration has indicated plans to allocate significant federal resources to this case, with increased support anticipated to begin in February. A spokesperson for At Night Intelligence told the Post, as we continue working with locals in Oregon and New York, we remain grateful for the public's patience and support, the spokesperson added. We won't stop until we've exhausted every resource and every lead to bring Sebastian home safely to his family, they said. Chapman's team did not immediately respond to requests for comment. Chapman and At Night Intelligence are asking anyone with information about Sebastian's whereabouts to call Chapman's tip line at 833-835-5364, the Sumner County Sheriff's Office at 615-451-3838, or contact the TBI 1-800-TBI-FIND, or email tips to tbi@tbi.tn.gov. I didn't know they started adding a dot on the end of that now. What's up, Jane? Thank you for hopping in. And also, contribution call out. Hold on one second. I want to say thank you to KMAC. Contribution call out to you for being a member. Let me see. Let me see if it's messing up there. There we go. Another month there. And thank you for all the hard work that you do out there on YouTube. You guys are truly amazing over there. Clutch Them Pearls, KMAC, and all of the mods over there at Clutch Them Pearls do a great job when it comes to keeping the community, because it's a lot of hard work. Shout out to the angels and the demons. It's a lot of hard work to make sure that when people are here in the chats, they can they don't have to worry about a lot of the dumb BS that people just are just so ugly in their souls. So shout out to all the teams out there. It's a lot of hard work. What's up, Fine Summer's Truth? What's up, Guidance? What's up, Jane? How are you? Thank you. Come to Oregon. If I may, hopefully one day in the future. Trust me, I'm trying to find a camper. Been some busts this week, so I don't know. We'll see what happens. But I'm trying to get a camper here. We'll see. But if we do, we're going nationwide. We'll be going from Washington State to California to Florida to New York and everywhere in between is what we'll be doing. What's up, Ashley? Ticket 86. Thank you so much. So there's that for you. We're going to check out this here in a little later on regarding a potential sighting. I don't know. This was posted a couple days ago. Now, I think the sighting, is it confirmed that it wasn't? Let me know, because I've been in the Micah case. Let me see here. So, Dog shared a post with Jennifer Coffindaffer. We're going to get into the Dog on Court TV episode. And if we have time, we're going to check out what else did we have on the thing tonight? The Court TV episode and the Jennifer Coffindaffer from last night when it comes to certain things that were mentioned when it comes to what we were just talking about, the pond and all that. Now, you definitely got... Nick's been tweeting like crazy today. We're going to share this. Nick's been tweeting like crazy today. Y'all gotta check that out. The sighting was a no. Okay, that's what I thought I heard. But there was some other dispatch. The dispatch from the morning. I do have that ready too, because I've wanted to get into that for a while as well. But I do want to check out this dog episode. But first, I wanted to play some local news clips, kind of discussing over the last few days, couple weeks, latest local news. And then we're going to get into that dog episode. And with Joe Lesniak, very important. Again, exclamation point, Manhole. It definitely is a possibility. If you haven't checked out the breakdown, part 1 and 2 are put together. So you can see the different parts blended together, so you can see the whole breakdown. Save it to a playlist if you haven't seen it yet. Dog discusses it. It's definitely a possibility. But when it comes to this is also, like I said, 15% I'm feeling Manhole. The other 15%, the other 85%, I should say, The other 85%, this right here. Ever since May, I feel like trafficking. 15% manhole. 15%. All right, we'll check these out here real quick. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate you.
New leads for a missing Sumner County teenager leads investigators, along with Dog the Bounty Hunter, to increase the reward money and expand their search internationally. Good evening and welcome to News 2 at 5. I'm Bob Mueller.
And I'm Haley Wilkes. Sebastian Rogers disappeared from his home in Hendersonville last February and has not been seen since. Investigators tell News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry they're leaving no stones unturned.
It's been 10 months since Sebastian Rogers went missing from his family home in Hendersonville. In the first couple of months, several law enforcement agencies searched with no sight of the teen. Law enforcement then pulled back to focus on the investigative side. But Seth Rogers, Sebastian's biological father, never stopped searching. Last month, Dog the Bounty Hunter joined the search efforts.
This is not the first rodeo for me finding a missing child.
Dog's first act was to raise the reward money for information from $50,000 to $100,000. Most recently, the reward has increased to $175,000.
We want to motivate anyone with information to please step forward and potentially help break the case wide open.
Brandeis Davis, the lead high-risk task force investigator for At Night Intelligence Agency and Dog the Bounty Hunter, says new leads have created an international search effort.
We've pinpointed some credible leads in Oregon and New York near the Canadian border. There are several active investigation zones where we're working on the case closely with locals and initiated a rapid reach notification to all U.S. towns that border Canada.
According to At Night Intelligence Agency, 2 notices were issued requesting immediate awareness on ports of entry for the United States and Canada. The document requests vigilance from national law enforcement agencies and attention to motels, hotels, bus stations, and similar facilities.
It's about showing how seriously we take these new leads and our dedication to using every tool at our disposal to find answers.
In the meantime, the groups are looking to add more team members by February and March. If you have any information regarding Sebastian's whereabouts, you are asked to call the Sumner County Sheriff's Office, the TBI, your local FBI office, or Dog the Bounty Hunter's tip line. Those numbers are listed on our website at WKRN.com. Haley.
My house is very, very quiet because my son's not there. Going through hell when I go home. He's not there.
Almost not.
I got, you know what? This is crazy, K-Mac. This is crazy. And anybody can go to my live stream. We went to Yogi Bear Campground and did searching at the when was it? Sometime in April. You can look it up. It's Latimer Lake or something like that. This is crazy story. And you can literally go to my live stream from that day and you can hear the conversation. I'm not BSing you. And this is what's crazy. It is crickets there. We were handing out flyers. This is way in the beginning, okay? Maybe, hold on, you want to link? Maybe, I don't know, beginning, end of March, middle of April, somewhere around there, when we went to Memphis. They didn't know. There was nothing around there. We were handing out flyers to people at the park. And like, if anybody remember, I was like, I was handing out flyers. Yeah, handing out flyers. Exactly, Sunset. You remember. I'm sitting there and I'm handing out flyers. And this one dude is just staring at me. And he's got 2 of his kids with him. Right? And I have my camera down. especially at the park. We got the camera down. I'm handing out flyers still. He's got his 2 kids sitting next to him, and then he's got like his wife on the other side. And he's just sitting there looking at me, and I was like, here, can I hand you a flyer? This is missing kid, Sebastian Rogers. And he wouldn't even say anything to me, and I'm holding the flyer out, and he just continues to stare at me, and I'm like, whoa, this is uncomfortable. So I take the flyer back, and I was like, are you sure you don't want it? And he just looked at me and didn't even shake his head no. He just stared at me and acted like he just didn't even want to give me the energy of shaking his head or saying no. I have never felt so, it was nuts. It was nuts. Now, not all of them were like that. Some of them were taking the flyers. Nobody knew at all. People were asking me, well, if he's missing from Tennessee, why are you handing out flyers down here? And I said, because Step Pappy was staying right over there. And this is a spot, because remember, we were handing out flyers before we went back there to search. We went back there and did some searching. Me, Silky, Christina, Najee, we went back there and did searching. And then after we were done searching, a couple of the members had already left. And then me and actually, I think I was by myself at the end of it. And I was handing out flyers after we were done. And that was after digging and searching and all sorts of stuff. We even got ran out. Of the Yogi Berra Park. We were, because Najee, who was it? Najee and Christina were actually going out there when we got to the Yogi Berra Park, they were going around to check the sides, because I was like, well, if anything's going to happen when it comes to the Yogi Berra Park, it's going to be along this side or coming around. So the girls took off and started walking in that direction. I was still messing with my equipment, and it was interesting how it worked out, because as I'm messing with my equipment at my vehicle, that's when I see a security official take off to go follow the girls. So I'm like, we were already on the chat for the stream, and that's when I was like, hey guys, there's somebody that's going to start following you. So we kept in communication, and instead of me getting my equipment together to get out and go out there, that's when I hung back and I kind of watched the scene in the background, and then everybody kind of got rushed out of there. Even though Najee had credentials, they were still wanting to run, and they wouldn't even allow posters. This is the thing, and thank you, Tanya, Ticket 98. When it comes to getting run out of that campground, and this is all on the live stream, when we got run out of there, okay, they were like, we don't even want the posters. We don't even want to hear about it. That's what initially, they heard a little sniff about the posters and about we're part of Sebastian's search. And that's when they started going out to rush him away. And you know what the crazy thing is when and this is on the live stream recording as well, because I even show you guys, I take the camera and show you guys on the phone. When we first got to that Yogi Berra campground, I asked Najee, I said, do me a favor, can you look up, because when we got there, and it was like this little miniature city, and kids were walking the paths in between the parking lots where they were all parked. That would be like the city streets that you would walk up and around. And that campground was like its own little community, kids walking up and down, and no parents around. And I'm sitting there and I was like, Najee, do me a favor. Look up how many SOs are in this area. And when she looked it up on her phone, and she was like, oh my gosh, CJ, you ain't gonna believe this. And that's when I showed you guys on the live stream all of the SOs that were in that area alone. And it was horrific to see that. So it's no wonder we were rushed out, because they probably already have a reputation problem already when it comes to SOs being there. But seriously, anybody that goes by it, if you don't believe me, go by the campground and you'll see what I'm talking about. You'll see the campground, all the RVs are parked, and in between where they're parked, it's like kids and people walking up and down, and it's like its own little community. It's crazy. What's up, Busby? What's the new photo here that you got? What does it say?
Oh, I just
Oh,
logged in for a different account.
Busby's True Crime Network there. But it's crazy, man. Did you ever go to the Yogi Berra?
No, I didn't ever go to Yogi Bear. It had been gone to by so many people. I didn't see the reason to go. I mean, I've been from Memphis all the way down I-40 looking, and I haven't seen a whole lot of anything other than a trash bag that was moved, and there was nothing in it. So
Yeah, we went out there because we were getting a lot of tips to go out. There's something else there still, a body of water or something. I can't remember. It had been so long. Yeah, it was a long time ago. How far are you from there?
sorry, man. It's live country out here got loud noises everywhere, but I'm 4.5 hours, 5 hours.
Oh, damn. So you're quite a bit.
Yeah, I'm not close. I mean, I'm from the area, but not anymore. I don't live there.
Yeah, it's I'm not gonna say it's all like that, but it definitely was very interesting when somebody's just looking at you and they won't even give you the energy to even nod their head no or even say no. It was just, and it's like, dang, you got your two daughters with you. What if it was your daughter? That's what we all have to ask. I think that's why we're all here, is because we all put ourselves in that position, and that's why we care so much, because what if it was one of our family members that whatever we are discussing it happened to? That's why we're here.
I look at it as, I'm more than obsessed with this case because I feel like Sebastian is family.
Even if it's another human being.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going down that road again, man, where I'm just like getting so depressed with how this world is going.
Oh, I know, man.
It's like
I question. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. The more evil that you see, it's like, God, there's another one. It's like there was another girl that went missing in Tennessee just recently, but they found her. And then there was one in Missouri that was missing for like 3 days, and they found her. And it's very upsetting, man.
Mm-hmm. It is. It's, and then it's like, when we're out there, we're already in dangerous situations, and then you got trolls and people that just create more of a worse situation when they're just sitting behind keyboards and masks, and we're actually out there trying to make a difference. It's like I try and remind people all the time, it's not that easy out there. We're going out there to help find answers in communities where the people already, certain people already don't want you to find out the truth. And think about some of these cases and what these people are willing to do, the lengths that these people are willing to go to make sure that their secret or their scandalous activity doesn't become known. And so sometimes, when it comes to certain people's, limits on where they've already gone, they will go beyond what they've already done to try and make sure that that remains a secret and the truth isn't found out. And so when it comes to like those kind of struggles, I feel you, man, because there's plenty of days that I wake up and I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Because like, why is it so ugly out there? You already see some of it. There's people that are bringing attention behind a desk, and shout out to them. There's people that are getting attacked, and it's just like you sit there and you sit back and you're like, why is true crime so effing toxic? YouTube needs to do better. They definitely do, but at the same time, we as a human being need to do better. And why in the hell, when we're all here to try and make a difference and to try and help, because this stuff shouldn't be happening to anybody's family member. And so if people can't get together to try and help find answers for somebody that, if it was your family, wouldn't you be appreciative if somebody was giving their efforts to help find you an answer? Of course you would.
Exactly.
And so yeah, some days I wake up and I sit there and I go, is this what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I feel like there's a purpose. I feel like there's a difference to make in the world. But it's like, is this what it is? Because, man,
Yeah.
why do you have to shovel through so much snow when there wasn't even snow in the forecast? It's tough. It definitely is. It's already tough being out there. It's already tough being out there.
Yeah, it's super tough, man.
It's so stressful.
You try your best not to get too attached to these cases, but the more rabbit holes you jump down, the more information you gather, you just it's like the never ending story, the movie, where he just gets so involved in everything that he can feel like he's just there. Yeah, I don't know how to express it, but there's nights that I can't sleep. I'm just sitting there watching the internet to see if Sebastian or any of the other ones are, found. What new information can I get? It's like a craving. It's like crack. You just crave it, it's or caffeine or sugar or whatever. You just get so involved in it. It just consumes you.
I
But
just get consumed because I have so much work.
you do have a lot of work. You do it. I don't know how you do it, man. You're doing like 4 or 5 cases at a time.
I just think about other people, and that's why I'm gonna, like Sunday this weekend, you guys are gonna hear some of the future plans that I have. Willing that I get this camper, because the camper is gonna be a huge part of this being possible. But I'm already starting to like get things set up to where if we're able to go national, we're going to have a humongous network that goes eventually will cover the nation. Because I want to go ahead.
The more the merrier, man. The bigger the team, the better it is.
Well, because what I want people, I was kind of like talking about, I'm sitting there the last couple of days, I had to take a break. because I'm sitting there going, is this after we pushed for Micah? Look at the difference that we made. The FBI raided. There's the parking lot's empty. You know, the hot dog steaks have already been out there for a long time. People know. You know, we still have some work to do when it comes to some things outside of the inside part. Um, but it's like after all of that energy and just all of this, and it's like I'm sitting there going, man, I feel like there's like, is this it? Is this what it's supposed to be? Is this how it like what? I'm sitting there just questioning everything, and that's when I started like realizing, no, we need to take, you know, we need to take the effort that we gave Myrtle Beach here the last few months, and the effort that we're given and have given Sebastian the last since March in all these different cases. And instead of just totally focusing on one, I want to have these teams out there throughout the nation that we can give this 150% effort to every community, no matter where I'm at a moment's notice.
Right. I mean, they all deserve it. They all deserve it. And if you can create that network, then you can help several different families at one time.
And I'll be going to boots on the ground to all of them, and I need to, because a lot of what comes to these cases that we cover and the work that we're doing, I need to be there. I need to be on location. I need to be looking. I need to be searching. I need to be digging. I need to be doing all these things. I need to be in that atmosphere.
Right.
And so but at the same time, I can literally be somewhere else and we're still going to be given that same effort, even though I may not be there. But it's going to be important, though, to be able to go boots on the ground everywhere, too. And so, you're going to see the beginnings of this. You're going to see the beginnings of this, and it's just going to grow from here. And so, I don't know. We're sitting here and it's like, man, this is tough. We need a break, this and that. And it's kind of like, that's what, I think that's what the break was for, is because I needed to reflect and I needed to go, there's some other purpose. What is the purpose? And when it comes to the management career that I've had, it was all organizing or coordinating, action plans. It was a lot of those things. And so I'm going to do a mixture of both. I'm not just going to be totally focused on boots on the ground. I'm going to be a mixture of it. It's going to be the boots on the ground, and it's going to be the coordinating and the game planning and the strategizing and all those other things. So there's going to be, it's going to be from a very small team to a team that eventually branches out to all these different areas. And that way we can make this difference to all these communities at the same time.
A couple notches.
Instead of me having to be there every single time. Because another thing that this has taught me is the last couple of weeks, all these miles that I've driven, it really taught my body too. Man, I really pushed it. I put 5,000 miles in just a couple weeks period.
Yeah, I know you've been going and going.
I've been doing it a lot since May, especially.
Recharge, man.
And that's another thing. It's telling me, look, man, you can't be going from this part of the country to that part of the country, this, like you gotta. And so it's another thing. Okay, I need to strategize. I need to, again, combine those two.
I know what I mean. You feel like you need to be there. You feel like you have to be there.
Oh, I have to.
And I got that feeling too. Like when I saw the girl that went missing on the northeast side of Tennessee, I literally stopped with my wife sitting there, and I said, damn, she's 7.5 hours away. I can't get there. And that was my first thought was go. You know what I mean? And I can't. With everything else going on, I can't get there.
It's a long drive. It's
Yeah.
a long drive.
I mean, the 4.5 hours every time I go to Nashville, or Hendersonville area, which, we've been several times. But like you were saying in the beginning, there's just a feeling of we've covered that area a lot.
Oh yeah, somebody reached out to me in an email yesterday. CJ, can you search these areas in Hendersonville? And I responded to the lady today, and I was like, "Ma'am, actually, we've searched that, not just the zone, because she sent me a photo of a
Right.
specific zone, and then the map was even was bigger." And I told her today, I was like, "Ma'am, to be honest, we've searched it 4 times, and not just that little zone. In fact, the huge map that you have of there, we've searched it 4 times." And I gave her the months that we searched them in too. We've searched a lot of area, sometimes a couple times. What's up, Narc? Sometimes a couple times. But the areas that have been searched, when it comes to all the teams, from the first day that we showed up, when Hot Dog Steak was around for a week and a half, when we had Silky and Najee and Christina and them out there for a couple weeks, and then we ran into Busby and Narked, and we've had all of these different search efforts going on.
Yeah, and that's just our groups. I mean,
Yeah.
there's others that are out there searching too.
Yeah.
The National
Yeah,
Guard there, the local law enforcement, everybody.
Well, yeah, just even the local law enforcement before. If you're not busy, Trey, let me know, man. Even the local law enforcement had searched it multiple times before I even made it out there. That was before I even made it out there initially, when I was by myself.
Right. Yeah, you've been out there way before I did.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. We'll see. It's just sad. It's like, in like those cases that you talked about, there was something, there was a sign, there was a direction, there was something. Even the ones that weren't here, still, there was a sign, there was a direction. When it comes to this, there's absolutely nothing.
There's no direction.
And so it seems like it's got to be a combination of things, because either somebody was planning this or something unexpected took place. And
you said earlier, the three of us, all three of us, still think there's something with those pipes, with the manholes. We need that 100% covered, because it's still in my mind and everybody else on the team's mind. Yeah,
well, especially when you're looking at this too, because this is important when it comes to this right here. Actually, let me bring up a different photo. Hold on.
While you're doing that, I just want to say hi to everybody in chat. I can't type in chat right now, but I want to say hi. I saw everybody saying hi to me. Hi, K-Mac and everybody.
So this right here, okay, here is that manhole that's sticking out, and when you look at, this is the important part, is here's Sebastian's house. If you follow the flashlight or the light video, whatever you think it may be, what you do know is that you see that light travel in this direction that we have right here. Whatever the light is. What's up, Faye? Thank you for hopping in. Whatever the light is, you see it traveling in this direction.
Exactly. And
so
it's so damn close, man. It's killing me to somebody that goes down there and confirms it.
Well, and this is, I have to question it because I remember when we were talking about this, right? You know, when we were talking about this, that's when they were reached out about it, because that show that night after I did the part 2, here's the part 1 and part 2 combined. If you haven't checked it out yet, that's the combined link. Did that a couple nights ago. But when you're looking at this, you have to question it, because when I showed you guys this in the very beginning and how covered, how much mud was in these drains,
he could be still.
The search from April 6th and 7th, walking around the construction area going, holy crap, all of these man cover, the lids are missing. There's no lids. We better make sure the dog puts its head down in each one of them, you know, and that's why we walked all up and down, basically gridded out the whole construction area.
Yeah.
To make sure that every part was covered, because I'm walking by and I'm looking at these, and I'm looking down in it going, damn, that's like a 6-7 foot fall. You got nothing but cement square in there. There's at least maybe a half a foot to a foot of mud in each one of them. You slip and you fall. Because listen, it's already dark out there with house lights. Imagine how dark it is in this construction area.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that one manhole is the only manhole. I'm saying you had to have looked at the whole system.
Yeah, there's dozens of those around there too.
Right.
But
right where they put that road, there was manholes all over that were not covered before they put that road there.
It just bothers me. Well, it bothers the whole team, but all the shit that's changed since we were there back in April. You know, I mean, could they have covered him up? You know, could they have closed him in there somehow? I mean, you saw what it was like when you and Trey went. I saw what it was like when I went to do the recon of, you know, where the retention pond was. You couldn't even see the hole. It was just covered in mud.
Yeah, this right here, this stain, that's how it was even fuller than this. Like you can tell from the stain on the mud right here on the side, on the inside. It was even fuller than that. So this is shortly after how much mud was in there in these systems. Like you could really tell, and this is what was crazy. All those months had gone by. And when was this? Maybe because I took more videos. I even took a video. I'm going to have to pull it up. But I took a video where I drop it down and you could see how if you go in. So what they tried to do was that they tried to smooth out the pond. It was dried up here. It was dried up. They like raked it, smoothed it out. And then that hurricane came through. And after the hurricane came through, you could see how it messed up. So when they smoothed it out the prior week, we looked inside and they had literally scraped out like 3 feet going in, scraped it out to make it look like the pipes were cleaned out if you're walking by or driving by. It was a lazy ass effort. But if you looked down in there, you could see after the 3 feet that they scraped out, it was again half filled with mud. So it was like, what the hell? You guys are slacking. So then that hurricane came. After the hurricane came, Then I went back there again. That's when I was like, oh, they just smoothed it out before, because now it's all unlevel again. So they were trying to make it look like it was, oh yeah, it's cleared out. But then when you went to look in there, then it actually had cleaned itself out. But there was still mud in there. So when you're talking about this tunnel system, we've already showed you in the part 1 and part 2 how the manhole, even this manhole right here, drains to the retention pond. Even this one right here drains over to the construction area to the retention pond. Everything flows like going straight back from where we're looking. Everything flows directly straight back from where we're looking downhill. And so all of these systems, any of these manholes, if he could have, if he really did walk out, or I've had people ask me, CJ, do you think it's a possibility that he could have could have been put in there? Maybe. Do I think that somebody's gonna like go there and get a pry bar and pry it open and do? Listen, you'd be getting caught on so many surveillance cameras to take that chance. I don't think somebody.
Those lids are hella heavy, man.
I don't think somebody's gonna take that chance being caught on all these surveillance cameras. Now, do I think it could be a possibility if it was already off? Of course it could be a possibility, because you're just literally walking by, kaboom, and you're walking away. You would still be taking the risk to get caught on surveillance. So I would think if somebody really was in that situation where something needed to be gone, I don't see them doing that. I see them going in a vehicle or something like that. Now, when it comes to him walking or leaving, and maybe somebody accidentally left it off that was looking in there the day before, and somebody forgot to, sometimes people can forget. Could that be a possibility? And then something happened, and all of a sudden somebody woke up in the middle of the night and went, oh crap. Or somebody was out there working somewhere else and they heard about something that was going on and maybe went by real quick to, oops, I made this mistake. Let me fix it real quick, and hopefully nobody noticed. I don't know. Now, we heard that they put a drone in there. That's what was being reported when we first brought this up. I was asking everybody to reach out to their local officials, ask them if they could search this, because really, when you're talking about oil and a scent that travels through water, you look at the way that this drains. I mean, hello, it makes sense.
Right.
We were told it's already been checked. They put a drone down in there. We already showed what the drone would do, what it would look like. But at the same time, Dog brings up a great question, because he brings it up. How good could you have a drone go in there if there's that much mud in there? If you're talking about this much mud and more mud than what's right here, as you see, then how good or effective is that drone? And when it comes to how wide this area is, when it comes to all of those networks of the sewage system and the drainage and everything that takes place, it makes you wonder, like, I don't know. Do you think when it comes to this whole area, and I'll go ahead and bring it up in a map. When it comes to this whole area, do you really think that they really checked all of this? And you're talking all the way up here.
Not a chance.
Because right here, all this green right here is it was all dirt when Sebastian went missing.
Yeah, dirt. Mud. I remember all the mud I got all over my wheelchair when we were there. So
let me here. I'll bring this up and show you guys this. I'll even use Google Earth to give you a zone of what we're talking here. So we're talking. There's the fence line. You're talking. anything, because all of this right here, all of this drains to the retention pond, which goes back over here, and then it drains this way. So when it comes to this whole section, you're going to tell me that a drone was able to check all them pipes? Because think about, oh, it's not showing it. Hold on. This right here. This whole section. You're talking about these drainage pipes, especially the top right, because all of that green is actually dirt. And when you look at this area right here, and I'm going to show you because it shows you the road on this part. This is the part. These areas around here were the areas that didn't have the covers on the manholes back then. So when you go back to our searches from April, and in the construction area, first searches in construction area in April, beginning April, you see all this is dirt. You see the potential roads that this was going to be back then. You see the manhole covers not having them on. You see me saying, hey, guess what, guys? Can we make sure the dog hits each one of these manholes? Because I could see somebody falling down in here. Now, somebody falls down in here and is their arms broken and they can't climb out. They keep screaming for somebody and nobody hears them. Well, wouldn't you? If you're screaming and nobody's hearing you, whether it's the daytime, nighttime, whatever it is, who knows? I mean, it's got to be scary. Think about it. You fall down. It's late at night. How many hours until your mom wakes up to get you to go to school? You're screaming. Nobody hears you. You're going to fight or flight.
Exactly.
You're going to want to try and crawl through. Maybe I can, it's so dark already because you're in the middle of a construction area. Sorry.
You're saying maybe I can fit. Maybe I can, find a bigger one somehow. And
I can crawl out to this spot right here. That's your end goal. I can crawl out to this spot and make it. Because if nobody's hearing you and it's dark and you're scared and you're hurting and you're freaking out and you're spazzing and you're like, I need nobody, you're gonna want to try and escape.
Then you get down in all that mud and you start hyperventilating.
You get stuck. Imagine, dude, can you imagine trying to crawl through this mud? You know how exhausting that would be already?
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden you get exhausted. You're on your chest and you get exhausted and your head falls down and your head's in mud. What's going to happen? You suffocate.
Exactly.
And then there's so much mud moving around in them pipes, you don't know if it's getting covered up. And then next thing you know, there isn't a scent that's going to travel through that sewage system because the scent, think about it. Why does my cowboy boot almost come off in this mud? Because it creates a suction. That air gets trapped. So you don't think that a scent of somebody that could be underneath mud, that scent is trapped. That scent won't travel then through those pipes.
Well,
so there's so many.
Think about it this way. It's like a cemetery. There's plenty of people that are buried in the ground there, but you don't smell anything because the scent gets stuck down there. It's essentially what you're saying.
But with mud, it's the air suction. So there, you could literally be covered up and your scent's not going to travel. Now, it could move around, that mud shifts and all these other things. But what I'm trying to say is when it comes to this whole zone, you can't tell me that drone checked all of it because he could literally have been in there for a period of time where his scent would have traveled to the pond and then ended up getting in a position to where he got stuck or covered or whatever, and all of a sudden the scent doesn't appear anymore. And you can't tell me that these drains were checked like that.
If they checked all those drains, I want to see the footage of it.
That's what we were told. So, but when dog comes out and says something now, guess what? We need to discuss it more. We need to bring more attention to it because it's legitimate.
Well, I thought it was legitimate a couple months ago when you brought it up. I thought it was legitimate back in April when we went and saw it. You know,
I mean, it is, but when a couple months ago, I even reached out to Jennifer Coffindaffer, sent her this, and I was like, hey, like, yo, this is hello. But that's the thing. Nobody really takes, it because I'm not this huge platform. People think I don't know what I'm doing. And it's like, well, no, it's not that. It's just, I'm a small fish. Just wait until we're big fish.
Right.
But I don't think it was. We did what we could do. We reached out to the people. The people reached out to the local officials. We were even the investigative agencies. We were told it was already checked. If we had a credible lead, then it doesn't mean that they wouldn't check it. They just aren't going to check it and weren't going to check it because there was nothing beyond the theory of it could be possible. Right. So now that dog is talking about it, that's why I'm saying we need to add more attention to it, and it's more legitimate because now that dog is saying, yo, this could definitely be possible. It definitely could be possible. And maybe with the attention and your guys' attention, if it could have so much more attention brought to this, thanks to dog, shout out to dog, maybe these can get checked, maybe they can get checked because we've been screaming for a long time for these to get checked. And so I'm just hoping.
We just didn't have the resources to do it. Like you said, they won't take us serious.
Not that they won't take us serious, because, there's other people that do take this serious. It just, I don't know. I don't know what dog came across. I don't know if he saw the video and was like, man, because there was a lot of the things that he says where it's like, damn, man, you must have watched the video, because there's a lot of things that we've brought up, especially in the part 1 and 2, where it was like, it's
whenever I was watching, that's exactly what I was thinking. Damn, did he watch CJ's video?
Because we bring it all up, like even the photos, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially this one, because this one says a lot. And like I said, you can go back to April 6th, April 7th searches, and you can see it's even being discussed about these manhole covers. Because to me, it was like, holy crap. How do you not even have covers? Even the one that, like, this is the one that went into to the north, but the one behind this one that had that like rebar on it, and it wasn't even attached, bro. You could literally and it wasn't even covering the whole thing. You could literally just slide it off. It was
crawl right down in there,
right? And that's another 6-7 foot fall.
That bothered me, man. That bothered me bad.
Yeah. It's so there's part 1 and 2. We're kind of going more into it on this one because I think it's important, because like I said, when dog brings it up and starts talking about it and just stating all these things that, maybe my video only got 500 views, and that's not what it's about. It's not about the clicks and views. It's about trying to bring factual information, all theories, thoughts, and opinions, so we can find the truth. And it is about community, and so it's one of these things where it's like, we got to talk about it more, because it really, it needs to be done. When you look at this zone, I'm sorry, we can only do what we can do. But when we look at this zone, you can't tell me that all of this connected. We've already showed you where they drain and everything. You can't tell me that all of these potential areas were checked when it comes to how muddy those pipes are. Give me a break. But we can only do we can only do what we could do. They already reached out to now, hopefully with dogs pressure and attention on it. Maybe some of these, okay, yeah, city official. Like I said, if I need to go down in there, I'm going to be coming back. I'll be in Tennessee again in the middle of next week. We got some work to do here for Amber Barbilia, and then I'm coming to Tennessee for a little bit. Listen, city official, you want to come pop the lid? I'll freaking go down in there and I'll crawl and look for them. Okay? I'll make a flashlight hat. We'll go down in there. Down in there. Dolly Vision says he's got a monster truck drone thingy, whatever, that would work better than any of this other stuff. Well, get your monster truck thing. Get it down in there. Let's go, bro. You know what I'm saying? Dolly, come down in there with me. Listen, if they don't, I will do it for my services for free. I'll go down in there if I need to. What's up, Mama 136? They need to be searched. I'll always feel this.
Right.
But again, 85% I feel trafficking. 15% I feel these sewer drains.
Yeah, that trafficking thing scares me, man. As much as they've been finding people left and right from that stuff, and
yeah, think about it, man. It's the perfect little. I hate saying it, but it's the truth. It's the perfect little community, just a couple minutes outside of Nashville, that is dark as hell, and everybody trusts each other, bro.
Yep.
And it's a perfect mixture for these predators out there.
The place was safe. Not anymore.
Mm-mm.
Remember in the beginning, I was telling you, oh, this place is great. People are nice, and it's real safe and all that. I take back every bit of that now. Every bit of.
Yeah, because you're from there,
Yeah, going there now, my eyes are open to what it's like today.
What's up, Kitty Candy? It's like when you see this dude, it's why it's like I don't know if you were in chat when I brought it up in the beginning of the show. I was telling everybody, I was telling them about how when we were done at that search, and I'll upload those videos for you guys, but when we were doing our search and we were all kind of standing there, and it was like, dang, there should have been something. That's when on the drive back, I started thinking trafficking, because this stuff does exist, especially there outside that hub.
You mean the several hours we were there at the lake?
Yeah. Yeah, when it was dark as hell. That was our last search together for a little bit. We were like, damn, after all this time, nothing.
Yeah. That's where Trey lost his flashlight.
A lot of stuff happened, yeah. But this is true. It's not playing. And then you're talking video games. Hell, we've brought up showed you how many stories of people using frickin' Minecraft, even. Minecraft, to do these sick, twisted things. It's a prime location. It's a hub. And you're talking, that's why, you got the coast and you got the middle of the country. The middle of the country is the main hub, because the middle of the country can hit any other spot in the country with the same amount of distance. Okay, the middle is the hub. Think back to the 80s. Think back to when they started making the milk carton missing kids. Where were a lot of them located? Yes, it was a nationwide issue, but a lot of them were located in the Midwest.
Right.
A lot of them were located in the Midwest. They are the OGs when it comes to this. They are the ones. I just feel trafficking went a couple states west. And I don't know. I just can't get Oklahoma out of my head.
The Midwest is so wide open, man.
It is. It's the major. So when you're looking at Nashville, you know, literally you just go to the west a little bit. You're in Oklahoma and Kansas.
Jump on I-40.
Hello, Oklahoma, not too far away.
Not at all.
No. So I don't know. We'll see. This is the court TV episode with Dog. Now this is the one where Vinnie Politan, he had some questions with Gray Hughes. I'm kind of curious, like, why they would have him on there when he's never even really been there. So that was kind of interesting, right? I think when it comes to all the different work that's taken place, but Vinny already has a relationship with him or whatever. But really, when you think about all the work that's taken place, all the different things that have done, I think the most people with the most knowledge, with the most different areas combined, you got to talk about the team.
Yeah, definitely.
The length of time, the different parts, the different ways, all the different things that we've done. I think we would probably have a good amount of knowledge. So I don't know. We'll let you guys decide if you want to watch that part or not, because it's a little different. And that's why I need to be there at all these places. And that's why what's up, Heather? That's why I always try and make sure that I can be at these places, because it is a huge difference, not only for me to be there to feel, what's up, Cotton Candy? Not only for me to be there to feel the atmosphere, to breathe the atmosphere, to feel the energy, but also to take my footage and my knowledge of the atmosphere and help bring you closer to it, as close as we all can be. And it's kind of hard to do that when somebody that wasn't actually there. So I don't know. We'll see. But I do want to check out this part with Dog and Joseph Lesniak when they were on. And Dog says a lot of interesting things too. And when it comes to, you know, especially with the manhole, you got to get it checked. We got to get it checked. So let's you know, share this out to your socials. Let's get the attention on this manhole some more. We already brought some before. Let's help Dog push this through, because they do need to be checked. And I'm always going to question these manholes until they do get checked again. There's no way I can't. There's no way.
I want to see the proof.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because I don't trust that area. I do not trust that all that. I do not trust that all that was checked. I just don't.
Welcome to Vinnie Politan Investigates. I'm Ted Rowlands. Filling in for Vinnie, the subject of our investigation is a 15-year-old boy who hasn't been seen since February 25th. But his mother says he went to bed, and the next morning, he was gone. Days have turned into weeks and weeks into months, but the search continues for Sebastian Rogers. Here is his story. Inside this beautiful neighborhood in Hendersonville, Tennessee, there's an unsolved mystery. It was a Sunday night going into a Monday morning, and 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers was supposed to be inside his home sleeping. His mother, Katie Proudfoot, says Sebastian went to bed around 9 o'clock, but was making some noises an hour later, including, she says, a thud sound. Katie says she told him to go to sleep, and she herself went to bed at midnight. Then, at 6 a.m., Katie says she woke up, went into Sebastian's room to get him ready for school, but he was gone. Sebastian's stepfather, Chris Proudfoot, wasn't at home, and his father was 45 minutes away at work. Police responded and began trying to figure out what happened. That was February 26, 2024. And as the days and weeks and now months have passed, there's still no sign of Sebastian, no sign of foul play, and no answers about what happened. Did someone harm Sebastian? Did he just walk away? We're searching for those answers as we investigate the mysterious disappearance of Sebastian Rogers.
And for weeks after Sebastian's disappearance, a massive search effort took place over the areas of Tennessee, near and far from Sebastian's home in Hendersonville. Multiple law enforcement agencies participated. There was ground, aerial, water searches. Nothing has led to the return of Sebastian. Now, official law enforcement agencies, they've completely dialed back, at least with organized searches, but another group of investigators is still working very hard to find him. Here is an update we received today from Dog the Bounty Hunter and At Night Private Intelligence, a branch of One World. New leads suggest possible sightings or related activity in Oregon and New York. And we are pursuing all tips with heightened urgencies. And that brings us to our first question of this hour. And that's an obvious one. Where is Sebastian Rogers tonight? As so many people continue to look for him and worry about this young man. Let's bring in Dwayne Chapman, aka Dog the Bounty Hunter. He's with us. He's joined this search effort for Sebastian, and he has dedicated a lot of resources, including his time, and attorney Joe Lesniak, who's assisting with the legal aspects of this search. Good evening to both of you. Dog, let's start with the updates. Where are we here? And if you could, just give us a little bit of more detail on these possible leads in specifically, it sounds like the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, and then something over on the New York-Canadian border.
Well, first of all, I appreciate you having us on the show, and I'm glad my lawyer's there. Let me tell you something, because sometimes I stick my foot in my mouth. So, Missy Joe, are you there, brother?
I'm here, Dog.
Thank you, sir. So, first of all, I don't mean to spin this, but you said a lot of law enforcement and volunteers and all that were out there searching. Let me tell you the truth, and nothing but the truth. Chris Proudfoot was threatening all kind of people that they should go home. Why are they there? He allegedly sprayed some neighbor with water, because they were asking. So a lot of people, let's say, tried to, help and volunteer, but Proudfoot and his cronies, or maybe by himself, was threatening them, stopping them. And I don't know why the people that were threatened and threatened by him allegedly didn't call the police or what is it called? The TBI. I don't know why the TBI hasn't done nothing unless they're neck deep in it too.
Well, it's just like the Serpentine Belt. Okay? It's just like when me and Trey were out there and we pull, everything's fine. We pull up. It sounds like something's wrong with your audio, Busby.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, something's wrong with your audio, man. You might have to hop out and come back in.
Let me go out and come back.
Okay. Like when we were out there, it's a 2-3 hour drive. Driving out there, everything's fine. We go to that first location. We're driving around, pulling up. Nothing's wrong. We get out to search that one area. We make it to that back part. That's when we look back, and it's like, what is this person doing? And it's like, okay, they're not going to get out and go search or go visit the gravesite or whatever that they were next to. All right, let's get back to it. We'll come back up in a little bit. We get back to it. Then all of a sudden I make it like, 150 feet, something like that. And by then, every dash light in my dash is going crazy, and it's like, what the hell's going on? I feel like I lost power steering. I felt like there was a flat tire. I'm like, this is weird. This is not normal. And so we pull over and we park it as soon as we get to the parking lot, because obviously I couldn't, dash lights going off. I could barely even move it. And then that's when Trey's like, dude, it's gone. Well, he goes back and looks twice and scales the whole area that we were at, which was just a small area, scales the whole area twice, and even went beyond where we were at just to see if there was anything, and there was nothing. And it's like one of those things. I'm going to call and say, yeah, my serpentine belt is missing. There's nothing of it. What do you want me to say? You know what I'm saying? Okay, my serpentine belt disappeared. Did you see anybody do it? No. Do you know where it went? No. Did it make any sounds? No, because the serpentine belt, anybody knows. I mean, hell, it's a serpentine belt. They are made to notify you if something's wrong, whether it's squealing or if it's falling apart and shredding apart. It slaps certain parts of your engine that makes a sound. You know what I mean? It gives you some sort of identification. And I had just replaced that like 3 months prior, and those last quite a long time. So the fact that, what are you supposed to say? Or what are you supposed to say when you got people driving in a circle around you a couple times, giving you mean mug looks, and there's 5 different vehicles that are doing it. Yeah, this person drove around and gave me mean looks. Like this is what, when it comes to these people, and hell, it wasn't even them specifically. Now, was it some of the extended? Yeah, a couple times there was some of the extended, because you know how grandma and grandpa like to drive around and harass other people that are there. You know that. That's realistic. It's true. You've seen it happen to a whole bunch of people. It's nothing nobody's making up. But it's like, what are you supposed to do? Now, when it comes to like TL and the pop tires, did she see a plate? Did she see who was there doing it? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to have more. And this is how these people get away with what they're doing, and how they know what to, we're out there isolated already in places that we may not even be around to see it. They already know this. We're looking for a missing kid. We're not going to go grocery shopping for DoorDash. It's a completely different situation. What's up, Jules?
Yeah.
You did a great job on Jacob last night, too. It's a completely different situation. So you can sit there and say, yeah, it disappeared. I don't know where it went. The crazy thing is you would have seen a piece somewhere.
Yeah, you would have heard it. You would have heard if it broke.
Yeah, it gives you. That's why I had to replace the other one, because it was already 200,000 miles, and that's when one of the little pieces was shredding off of it, and it hits your engine. So when you're speeding up, the belt goes quicker. The hit on your engine gets quicker. Like, I'm sitting there thinking I was dragging something when it took place. I was thinking I was dragging something underneath the car, and here was the belt coming apart. It's a serpentine belt, man. It's not gonna not give you a sign, because if you ain't got your serpentine belt, what happens? Your engine goes to shit. And I think
nothing.
I mean, and it's true. I mean, thank God my engine didn't go to shit. But I'm going to tell you right now, I've spent $2,000 since that took place. I've spent $2,000 fixing up, having to fix different parts on that engine, because I really feel it was a domino effect that affected a whole bunch of other parts of the engine. And yeah, 2 friggin' grand on maintenance, and that's just doing it myself. That's not taking it to a freaking shop. Imagine how much it would cost if I took it to a shop.
A lot of damn money. Yeah, I mean that belt controls so much. The water pump, the
everything,
timing on it, the power steering, everything. And I've had one go out like you have, and when it goes out, you know it right away. So that thing was not gone until you were parked there. In my opinion, at least.
Yeah. So, and that's what they were doing. That's when these people, think about it. A lot of these now, the Cajun Navy. I'm gonna be honest, because I was there. That's why when I was searching, and they were just standing around with the trophy on the trailer of this cool looking hovercraft, and I'm sitting there going, "Okay, I've been here how long? Why didn't I see this hovercraft go on the water? Why are they using search video from Riley Strain to make it look like they're out there searching on a boat for Sebastian Rogers? Why in the heck ain't this boat coming out there? I'm out there doing everything that I can with boots." And that's when I started screaming to my community back then, put us in touch with a boat crew, because we can't go, we don't have boats. And if the Cajun Navy that was there wasn't going to get off their ass and put the boats in the water like hey, we got this cool looking hovercraft that's sitting on the trailer right behind us, but we're not going to go out there. It's like, come on, we got to have some kind of boat crew come out here. And that's when we ended up all getting connected. So when it comes to these threats, did the people from the United Cajun Navy, were they ever able to make a legitimate report? Of course not, because these people know how to get away with it, what not to do, what not to say, but you understand. So come on, you don't think if somebody came up and did something to your vehicle that you would want to make sure the right thing took place? Of course you would.
Definitely.
Nobody wants to wake up one day and sit there and go, "Ooh, I want this to happen to me." It's a bunch of BS. And the people that are sitting there making jokes about it this whole time, and I'll continue to say it because I've always said it, the people that are sitting there making jokes about how, people just are just making stuff up and this and that would never happen to me, I'm the shit. Guess what? Yeah, it's going to be a slip and slide enjoyable day for you if you're associated with the same people that don't want the truth found out. Of course it's going to be slip and slide for you. You ain't got to worry about shit. You can sit there and talk shit about how it ain't going to happen to you and ain't nobody need to be worried. And this. Yeah, if you're associated, because shit, the people that don't want the truth to find out are going to be sitting there supporting your fucking ass. They ain't going to sit there and attack you. They're going to attack us. It's not rocket science. To sit there and people to sit there and make up shit like, guess what? Get off your fucking ass. Because if you ain't protected by the people, like I said, we all go to these communities. The shadiness already happens. They already don't want people to find out the truth. Of course, if people are going to align themselves with people that don't want the truth to find out, they ain't going to have shit to worry about. In fact, they got a whole bunch of people to actually support their efforts and everything that they're doing. But when it comes to the people that are actually really trying to make a difference, and they're not sitting behind a fucking keyboard, sitting there acting like, well, guess what? If I was there, it wouldn't be happening. Bullshit. Get out there and see what happens. And I guarantee you, because if you ain't associated with the people that ain't trying to have the truth found out, then it's going to happen to you on the first fucking day. Go ahead. Go ahead. People are too quick to do this and not quick enough to do this.
Yeah, it's all those people that are keyboard warriors.
Everybody is the most experienced and is the best, and they know the most. And it's like, no, that's the arrogance and ignorance are the two most dangerous things on this world. Arrogance and ignorance.
Exactly.
You got to be humble. All right. So that's why.
I talked to one of the guys, and, it was ridiculous. We want the FBI, the marshals. We need the FBI. We need the marshals in on this. And let me tell you about them. They will find what happened to the little boy. They will find Sebastian what happened to him.
What do you think happened to him, Dwayne? I mean, it seems it's very hard to get your head around that he has not turned up in after this long of a period of time. Do you believe he was abducted? Is he? What's your gut telling you now that you know enough and have invested enough here? What's your gut say?
And I'm going to pause this real quick because I do want to give you a contribution call out. Matthew 256, contribution call out to you. Bring Sebastian home. Green Hearts. Thank you so much. Please do me a favor. And thank you again for your contribution, Matt. If you have any information, you got to reach out. 175K reward.
Well, first of all, please call me dog. That's okay to call me dog. And there's a lot of possibilities. Okay, the worst possibility, of course, you could guess that. But we've checked into sex slaves. There's a lot of kids that are autistic that it's unbelievable, from 5 to 18 years old, little boys and little girls that are in the sex trade. They're catching them right now all over Tennessee. They just caught a kid, I think, 8 or 9 years old yesterday or the day before. So, we want to show those kids pictures of Sebastian. We want to show them those little kids got, sometimes they can ID someone a lot better than anyone else. So we want to show those kids pictures. But again, the ones that...
Yeah, because it's like I said, these are trading cards to these individuals. You don't think they're going to have them together in a certain area and one of them's going to be staying longer than the other one? And you know what I mean? Like, these are playing cards to these predators. Transfer them here. When they're done, they get to playing cards. And the United States and beyond is the poker table.
I think it's a great idea for him to show the kids that they've rescued and be like, hey, have you seen this kid there?
Right, because they might have.
Right.
They might have. They really might have.
Great idea.
It's, that's why when I'm sitting there and I'm bringing this up in April and May and even a couple months ago when people want to ridicule and CJ he doesn't even have a thought process. It's like, maybe you just don't explore enough, Or you're just not out there, because the only reason I was able to come to the conclusion is based off of all the searches that we were doing and how we never came up with anything. And then to me, when that one day I'm driving home when we're done and I'm like, it's got to be trafficking. I don't see how it's anything else.
Right. I mean, if you've seen that Caltopo map, that thing's insane how
it's filled up.
Yeah.
It was filled up when we first started going there.
I mean, people want to run their mouth and say shit about you and other creators and how they're not doing shit right out there. Tell them to lace the fuck up and come out and help.
Oh, just time shows it. It's everything that you're seeing right now and everything that we discussed 6 months ago, it's starting to become more real. Like, yeah. That's why I'm not worried. Like, people can sit there and say whatever they want. They can, ridicule or whatever. I don't care, because I know in time, it'll all come back. Like, it'll all come back. And it's just, I'm just glad that Dog is there bringing attention. Look at the reward from 50 to 175K.
Yeah.
Who knows? It might just keep going up, but there's pressure because something happened. Somebody out there knows the truth, and there's a lot of pressure too. That's a lot of pressure. 175K, especially if somebody knows a little something something.
Yeah, I think it's just that one breadcrumb we need.
Oh, listen, just like with this Micah, the Justice for Micah movement. It was 5-6 months, and it was like, oh, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, this huge tidal wave just came from behind us and started pushing us.
Yep.
And I really feel like this is going to happen with Sebastian and with Dog being there. I really feel like just all of a sudden, out of the blue, after all of this work and this attention and this effort and the shield through the trolls and the mucky waters and all of these things, and I really feel like soon we're going to feel this huge tidal wave again, all of a sudden picking us all up and pushing and giving us all of that energy to just keep going because we know that it's coming soon. And I really feel like that.
I feel something's coming real soon. You know, something's gonna break the case wide open real soon.
There's gonna be some movement. I really feel it. We're just gonna wake up one day like we did with Micah's, and it's holy, you know. I really feel that.
I guess found the kids is the TBI. You know, I hate to sound redundant, but we need the federal marshals and we need the feds in on this.
You mentioned the Proudfoots, Chris and Katie Proudfoot. Katie Proudfoot, for those who haven't been following this, is the mother of Sebastian. She was the last person to see him. Chris, the stepfather, and we invited them on tonight. We did get a hold of them. They declined. Joe,
Of course they will.
Thank you, Joe.
Joe, there's been some pretty nasty rhetoric going on online. Not only, not just people attacking the Proudfoots, but Seth Rogers has been the victim here of a lot of hate. Why? Where is that coming from?
You know, I think a lot of people have a lot of time on their hands. Chris, I think what happens is they get caught up in
a lot of time on their hands and a lot of hate in their soul. And there's a lot of it out there, unfortunately.
in their own rhetoric, as you said, and their own story. And they want to try and create headlines. They want to try and create something that's not there. They create smoke, and then they point to the smoke that they created. And you're sitting there going, stop, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. And yet they don't care because the smoke generates more advertising, more smoke, and more people. And they attack not only Seth, but anybody who's aligned themselves with Seth Rogers. You know, Seth is and Dog and all these individuals are trying to help find this young man, and they constantly are attacking anybody who's ever latched on to Seth Rogers and the search for Sebastian. And that should send up signals. You know, I've been practicing in the criminal defense and criminal prosecution world for almost 20 years and prosecute sexual offenders and other types of.
You see what I'm saying? I was saying this a couple months ago.
Right.
I was pulled over in Kentucky. You know, she was like, "What? You know, what's going on?" I was like, "Sorry, I was just making sure I was going to the right location on my Google." And she came up to the vehicle. She's like, "Damn, that's a nice setup, you know, for the computer." And I said, "I was just trying to make it's a custom setup that we got." And I was like, "I was just trying to make something like you all got." You know, and so she was like, dang, that's nice. She's like, what are you doing? I was like, we're going to search for Sebastian Rogers again today. And I was just making sure I was going to the right location or whatever. And she was like, yeah. She was like, yeah, I was there that day at that search. And I was like, I know. I said, what'd you think about that search since you were there? What'd you think about it? I said, because I've always heard it was half-ass effort. I always heard it wasn't really that effective. What's your personal opinion on it when it comes, since you were there? Because and she was like, honestly, there wasn't even really a grid type effort search going on. I was like, yeah, I know. You think about like, uh, um, uh, what's her name? Leilani Simon and
Yeah.
Quentin Simon, and how that landfill search had a grid pattern. They had like so many agents out there. It was really done effectively, because when you're talking about landfills, this ain't no joke, man. These searches and landfills ain't no joke. You're not looking for somebody in a bunch of grass. You're looking for him in a bunch of trash, and it's
Yeah.
a completely different environment. And so when I was asking her, I was like, "Yeah, I heard it wasn't even like that. It was just some little." And she's like, "Yeah, it wasn't even that effective. Just looking at it and being there." And she's like, "It wasn't even. It was almost like it wasn't even planned out or thought of. It was just like a bunch of people just showed up and was like, all right, we're going to start kind of looking around and pushing a shovel." And so you can, when you see this video, and I'm going to take this closed captioning off for this, when you see this video, you kind of see like, yeah, she wasn't lying.
On to Seth Rogers and the search for Sebastian, and that should send up signals. I've been practicing in the criminal defense and criminal prosecution world for almost 20 years, and prosecute sexual offenders and other types of cases, kidnapping cases, and it should send up a red flag to law enforcement of people who are degrading and putting down and trying to drag through the mud the people who are helping. And so these bloggers and these content creators, there are some that are very helpful and getting the name out and the information out. And then there are others who are just, like you said, dragging people through the mud for their own education and their own desires to get headlines and people to come and listen to them. And to me, as Andy Warhol said, everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame, but their 15 minutes are up. And we're tired of it. We're not going to sit tight and let these people utilize these powerful platforms online to drag and defame individuals who are trying to find, one who's trying to desperately find his son, and others who are trying to find this young man on behalf of his father and his family. And
Gross, if you guys have been part of the community, since we started out there, all the stuff that they defame and slandered against my name, my character, my effort, my work ethic, even our team and our community, it's downright disgusting. Downright disgusting. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I'm one of the only few YouTubers that does not have a record. Look it up. Most of your YouTubers out there have a record.
I don't.
One of the few that don't. And so instead of pulling up some kind of criminal history, they just make shit up and create some really crazy defamatory and slanderous.
Yeah, they put you in serious danger back in April.
Oh yeah,
serious danger. I mean, that's why we ultimately all left.
I couldn't keep you guys safe anymore, because I would look at it as me. If what's been put out there that isn't even true, and even after these people, no sense, even even after these people find out the truth, they don't even redact what they say or take back or even remove or take down or anything, because they're so egotistical, narcissistic, and
lose the clicks and the views.
Right. They don't ever want to be wrong, and it's true. I couldn't protect the team anymore, because if I saw somebody that was out there looking for a kid that had all that shit against, I'm sorry, I'm not going to sit there and wait for you to explain everything. I'm going to have my weapon out, and I'm going to be like, you get off this fucking property, and also you can get out of this neighborhood.
Oh, especially in that area.
Uh-huh.
Especially in that area.
Right. Do we know if this construction site belongs to Cousin D? Faye is asking.
It's not.
No. Busby says no.
So we have taken action, and we are moving forward.
But watch this landfill stuff. You'll see what I'm talking about.
In everything we can to stop it and continue doing investigation here, and that is to find Sebastian.
Dog, when you have a mother who does not seem to want to participate in the search for her child, at least publicly, what does that tell you?
And that should send for almost 20 years and prosecute sexual offenders and other types of cases, kidnapping cases, and it should send up a red flag.
There's your picture right there. And let me blow this up for you. That is your search.
Yeah.
That's a powerful picture.
Yep.
So when it comes to what I mean, you see what Julia's saying. When it comes to what I'm saying too, when I talk to a law enforcement officer that was there that day at that search, and we had this conversation, I was like, dang. Look at that picture. It's the truth. It's the truth. How many people were standing? How much video did you see of the people standing there too?
Right.
That's a landfill. You should be searching. Why we stand? That's a landfill.
And they're all standing close together too. I don't understand a lot in this case, man. A lot of things that I think should have been different.
Yeah, they scaled back real early.
Too early.
Too early. And the FBI should have been brought in from...
Absolutely.
From the get, too. From the get.
To law enforcement of people who are degrading and putting down and trying to drag through the mud the people who are helping. And so these bloggers and these content creators, there are some that are very helpful and getting the name out and the information out. And then there are others who are just, like you said, dragging people through the mud for their own education and their own desires to get headlines and people to come and listen to them, and to me, as Andy Warhol said, everybody gets their 15 minutes of fame, but their 15 minutes are up, and we're tired of it. We're not going to sit tight and let these people utilize these powerful platforms online to drag and defame individuals who are trying to find, one who's trying to desperately find his son, and others who are trying to find this young man on behalf of his father and his family. And so we have taken action, and we are moving forward in everything we can to stop it and continue doing investigation here, and that is to find Sebastian.
Dog, when you have a mother who does not seem to want to participate in the search for her child, at least publicly, what does that tell you, mother and stepfather, the Proudfoots I'm speaking of?
Well, brother, I'll leave that up to your viewers to decide. As far as I've done this way over 40 years, and I lost a baby girl, Barbara Katie at 22 years old. 19 years ago, I barely still can talk about it. So that is like unbelievable. And I also heard that there's witnesses that once Sebastian was in the front yard and Chris Proudfoot was screaming at him, and he called him a retard, and Sebastian hit the ground and started bawling. I mean, all these, what is the old saying, all roads point to Rome? I mean, this is like almost obvious.
Well, if they were involved, though, Doug, then one would think they didn't have a ton of time. They didn't have a ton of sophistication, one would think. Where is Sebastian, and how could they, let's say the worst did happen, how would they have gotten away with it? Is this a shoddy investigation from day one?
Well, somewhat. Somewhat. It's the police officer, it's the TBI. I guess their lead guy is ahead of it. So yeah, put blame where it falls. That guy, it's just incredible. I can't believe that. But what so far what our leads could say, there is a manhole right in front of the Proudfoot's property. And they've said, yeah, the drone or the cops, somebody said, they flew drones in there. And there's like 3 foot of mud, okay? Then
see what I'm saying? This is where I'm like, man, he must have watched the video. Because I'm like, man, this is like, and shout out, because this is all the stuff we were discussing a couple months ago, and it's like,
I literally,
yes,
dog at 70-something years old, take his shirt off and go down that manhole. I could see him doing it.
You got this one right across the street. When it comes to this manhole compared to where Sebastian's house is at, you look at this map that I bring up to you guys, and it follows the path of the lights. This is the manhole right here between 1012 and 1014 Kellen Lane. This is Sebastian's house. This is the path of the lights. I mean, and then you look at this right here when it comes to this whole zone of where these pipes are ran through. And then I'll go right back to this picture right here when you're looking at, it's half of it was filled with mud, y'all.
Whole labyrinth of pipes too.
Yep.
They go everywhere.
So when he's bringing it up, it's like, yes, please, we need attention on these manholes. You even hear people tonight, yesterday, the day before, making fun. People even in their chats, yeah, CJ's the one that created that stupid theory. And it's like, whatever. I've been ridiculed from the beginning, and I continue to get ridiculed about it. But you know what? To me, it's legitimate. And it's legitimate to Dog too. He's telling you,
man, they got to do better.
He's telling you. And then again, you look at this. Come on now. That whole zone, you ain't doing all that. So we need to push this on socials. We need to create the energy, the awareness. Listen, I'm going to be back in Tennessee the middle of next week. If my ass needs to go down in there free of charge to go down in there and get in the freaking pipes, I don't give an F. You know what I mean? I've been in more dangerous situations already. You think crawling through an effing pipe is going to freak me out? Hell no. It needs done.
Might freak me out. I'm claustrophobic, man.
I'm claustrophobic too, but I'm about getting shit done. I listen, come on, man. Like when I'm afraid to fly, and I took a damn flight to Idaho last minute.
Yeah. Listen,
there's sometimes where you're scared, but it's like, look, man, I gotta go beyond. I have to. Because it's just, I'll be thinking about it, and I'll be wishing. Each day that passes, I'll be wishing, damn, I wish. You just got to do it sometimes. F it. I'm claustrophobic too, man. You think I'm going to have fun? Hell no. But you know what I am going to have? A freaking answer.
My big ass wouldn't
we
fit
can talk about it or not.
My big ass wouldn't fit in that pipe.
Listen, hey, check it. And then guess what? We don't talk about it anymore, or we continue to talk more about it. It's one or the other. But one or the other, it's going to lead us closer to what really happened. Whether he wasn't or was, it's going to, either way, it's going to lead us closer. And that's what we're trying to do. So, like, do I think the drone really checked it? No, but we're not, we can only do so much. The community reached out to him a couple months ago when we came out with this video. That's what we were told. Just like Dog said, law enforcement reported that they had a drone put down in there and that they flew it in there. We showed you what kind of drone it was. We're just, listen, we don't break the rules. We respect everybody. We're not going to be popping the covers, jumping in there. There's certain organizations or businesses or officials that need to help. It's just the way it is. We could be like, James Bond or some shit at 2 a.m. boop, boom, 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 and go. No, that's not what we're about. We're about doing it the right way, going about it the right way, period.
You did that boom to the boop boop stuff, and I was thinking Pink Panther.
Yeah. That, I don't know, it might have been. Who knows?
No, you're good, man. I just
Mission Impossible. Yeah.
Trying to make light of this shitty situation.
Mission Impossible, that's what it was. But yeah, like you're zip tie, lowering yourself down. No, come on now. But we do. They need to be checked, and I'm so happy to hear that Dog's bringing attention about this.
This is like almost obvious.
Well, if they were involved, though, Dog, then one would think they didn't have a ton of time. They didn't have a ton of sophistication, one would think. Where is Sebastian, and how could they, let's say the worst did happen, how would they have gotten away with it? Is this a shoddy investigation from day one?
Well, somewhat. Somewhat. It's the police office, it's the TBI. I guess their lead guy is ahead of it. So yeah, put blame where it falls. That guy, it's just incredible. I can't believe that. But what so far what our leads could say, there is a manhole right in front of the Proudfoot's property. And they've said, yeah, the drone or the cops, somebody said, they flew drones in there, and there's like 3 foot of mud, okay? Then a dog, a really good dog, 2 of them, one of them stopped at the edge of the pond that was drained, and the other one jumped in the pond. If Sebastian was put down that manhole into the mud, the scent would have carried to that pond. So I want to know why they haven't blocked that off, got in some kind of suit, and went on their hands and knees and looked in that, manhole and all the way to the pond. Dogs, their sense of smell is so much more than a human being. And for a German Shepherd to jump in the water, well, they drain the pond. Yeah, because he could be in that manhole, in that little, cave, whatever they call it, inside there where it drains to that pond. So there's a lot of things that the TBI could be doing and haven't done nothing. Now, I heard they flew a drone in there. Well, you know how muddy that is and how thick of mud is in there? Flying a drone on top inside is not going to do nothing.
And who says he wasn't covered up? You can fly a freaking drone in there and fly right over him. You don't know. You don't know. Oh.
Put some ground penetrating radar in there.
I'm so glad Dog is bringing attention to this, really. And it's crazy. People literally doing shows yesterday ridiculing the whole manhole theory that we came up with a few months ago. It's like, come on, man. Hell, the manhole theory we talked about in the beginning of April when we saw all the manhole covers.
Yeah. And all
About
the
75% missing.
all the mud and everything that was there in April. I mean, I couldn't get through all that mud.
No. What's up, Pink Warrior? Common sense. My mama said, son, you can't go get common sense at the corner store, honey. I said, I know.
Yeah. All right, we're going to get a break. Coming up next, we're going to ask what is the current status of the investigation. Our guests are going to stay with us. Be back with more right after this.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out?
We're not ruling anything out.
Everybody says I went to the wrong crowd, but I think I was the wrong crowd.
And don't miss the new season coming in 2025, only on Court TV.
There is no evidence to support foul play is involved in the disappearance of Sebastian.
But at this point, you don't rule it out?
We're not ruling anything out.
At this point, we don't have any evidence. There is not any kind of an indication that there is a criminal element involved. But we are keeping options open. We don't know what has happened. We don't know where Sebastian is right now. So we are pursuing any and all avenues.
That was Sumner County Sheriff's Deputies Eric Craddock and Susan Hyland of the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation. She was the second person, obviously, at a press conference in the months after Sebastian was reported missing. About the same time, Deputy Craddock spoke with reporter Nick Barris from WTBF in Nashville about whether or not they'd cleared anybody from the immediate family as being a suspect in this case. Take a listen.
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
And it's simple because we have not even the direction that he was taken, walked out, whatever made him not be in that house anymore. Whatever it is, we don't even know the direction he went. Whatever it was. I don't necessarily think it was a shoddy investigation. I think they just didn't have any leads.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
nothing.
I better keep my mouth shut.
It's like when you talk to these, you talk to these officers, and it's like, what's your personal opinion? They can give you a personal opinion, but they can't approach it with that person, because you need, listen, you could sit there and go, I really think it's such and such and such and such, but you need more. Yeah. There's so many of these missing people cases. Andy Wagner's one of them. There's so many missing people's cases where they got a good sense. They have a good inkling, but they gotta have more. I mean, you look at with Andy Wagner's case in the guy that was a person of interest. Oh, it looks, I mean, come on, it doesn't take common sense to figure this out. But at the same time, when it comes to the law and the system, you need more. And it's one of those situations where it's like, look, I really feel like when I'm looking at his face and he's saying it, I really feel like he cares. And I really feel like he doesn't know. Like he cares and he just doesn't know.
I feel like he wants to say something, but he's not.
Well, that's where, that's what I'm saying when it comes to you have an inkling.
Yeah.
You have an inkling.
Yeah, they did that last piece of the puzzle to make a case, I think.
I mean, you just don't know. But they just, when there's not even a direction that he left, and after our searches and we were done back in May, and then we came back multiple times after that, but after the May's searches, it was It's just like, man, there should have been something with how much this was searched and the different searches and how many searches. And when I'm sitting there coming out in the middle of May saying, okay, people, it's like I-40 at this point. You got to branch out at this point, because it's like, man, it's already been searched so many times too, and no direction, no nothing.
You said that a long time ago.
No nothing. People got mad at me for saying that too. Oh my gosh, he's telling people not to search. No, I wasn't.
No,
I was telling people, come on. Especially the locals. Like, if you're going to be out there searching locally, do us a favor. The ones that have to drive a couple hours to get there, do us a favor. Branch out, because we're already branching out a couple hours to help you. So how about branch out a couple more hours in the other direction to help them too, And I really feel like, but yeah, at the same time, it's like, man, you just got to keep trying. You got to keep going outside of the box. You got to be thinking outside of the box. You got to push. You got to go past the boundaries that you are even thinking about. Yeah. Like, you got to go beyond, because we're making up for lost time. The lost time is when the crime took place. We're trying to make up for that lost time. So you gotta think beyond. But yeah, when I see his face, there's an inkling, but at the same time, it's like, man, we don't even know what direction he left. So it's like, it's a little kid, you feel bad, and, you hate seeing this happen, and you want to do what you can, and you just might not have anything. And again, it's in the very beginning as well. When all of this stuff, it's not changed. It has not changed the same information that was put out from the beginning. Nothing has changed since the first day or two in what has been, other than interviews. Other than that, there's been no changes except for reward money.
We have not cleared anyone, but we have absolutely no evidence to support foul play.
That was in April of 2024, a little more than a month into the search for Sebastian, and the official word from police was that nobody's been cleared, but still there's no evidence of foul play, yet one would think that foul play absolutely is involved here. And that brings us to our next question. What is the current status of this investigation so many months after Sebastian Rogers first went missing? We still have with us Dog the Bounty Hunter and his lawyer to keep him in check, Joe Lesniak. Dog, you're in Tennessee. What's going on? Is there anything you can share with us in terms of new developments in your investigation?
Officers, I respect law enforcement so much, and they were saying that way back then that they had no leads. Okay, nobody should be charged or blah blah blah. But now, what about now? What about today? What about last week? I think you guys need to do interviews now. Update everybody. What about right now after all these things have come forward? And a lot of people online, whatever, are saying, Dog, what gives you the right? What gives you the right? You're a bounty hunter. What gives you the right? Well, what gives me the right is Tennessee has one of the greatest of all time laws. It's called the Citizen's Right to Arrest Law. You talk about booting a door in and going in and grabbing them. I can do that. I'm a citizen. Whether I'm Dog the Bounty Hunter, Dwayne Lee Chapman, or I have the right as a citizen of the United States of America to put in custody and take out the person that hurt or whatever happened to little Sebastian.
So are you onto something?
Yes, sir.
Can you share?
Well, no, because they'll run. I know who the weakest link is. You get in Tennessee, bro, that's the death penalty. That is the death penalty. Would they rather go to would they rather go to lethal injection, or would they rather be paroled in 20 years or something? They still would have time to, live a life. So that one of the Tennessee carries the death penalty.
Let me get this straight. You're on to a lead. You're there in Tennessee. You're actively pursuing it. And
yes, sir.
Now, I get that you have the right to move forward with what you believe is possibly detaining an individual or two, or I don't want any details because you're being cagey. But do you have to alert law enforcement before you make any sort of a move to let everybody know, hey, I'm here and here's what I'm doing?
No, sir. I don't have to alert no one. Now, I cannot transport. I can arrest, cuff, and then the cops come or whoever to read that person their rights and transport them to jail. I can do everything but read them their rights or transport. But under the law, in the United States of America, I can arrest.
Give us a little hint. Like, did you like? Is this someone who has always been part of the landscape, or is this something new?
Look at Joe Lesniak's face. he's like, we understand. It's like Julia says.
Yeah.
You got to give credit to the reporter, because it's like, come on, when he said caged up, it's like, okay, that's the wrong word to use if you're trying to get some information from somebody. You don't be like, hey, you're being caged up. No, you just ask it in a different way. You don't say, hey, you're being too quiet. No, you just ask it in a different way.
Every time I see his face that way, it's like he's screaming, objection, reaching.
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, I see you trying to be sly and sneaky. That's what it's like a little kid that's like, it's like he's looking at like if a little kid's like just getting he put his hand in the cookie jar. He didn't pull out the cookie yet. He's giving you the face like, you're like, you look up and you're like, oh shit, he sees my hand in the cookie jar even though you didn't take it out. That's what it looks like. It's like, I see you being sneaky. Hey, you're not busted yet, but hey, I see you being sneaky.
He's got his hand halfway in. His mom goes, Bobby, what you doing? He's like,
see you being sneaky.
Is this someone who has always been part of the landscape, or is this something new? Or don't jump in, Joe, and have him stop.
Yeah. Well, I have to jump in and have him stop. Wait,
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I didn't say anything.
Oh, okay. My bad. Hold on. Let me get back to it.
Transport them to jail.
It's funny.
I can do everything but read them their rights or transport. But under the law, in the United States of America, I can arrest.
Give us a little hint. Like, did you like? Is this someone who has always been part of the landscape, or is this something new? Or don't jump in, Joe, and have him stop.
Yeah. Well, I have to jump in and have him stop. Wait, dog, you can't. Yes, Ted. Both of them are possibly right. So good questions, but yes. There's a private investigator also involved that we need to keep secure as well. So I know you're looking for information, but we got to be careful how far we go.
Talk about that. All right, we're going to let this play out, and hopefully we'll be one of your first calls when you make a break in this case. We're all hoping that, because that's what everybody's hoping for. In fact,
well, I carry a film crew with me everywhere I go, brother.
Yes. The reward up to $170K, $175,000. That's a lot of money. There seems to be a lot of interest in this country still in finding Sebastian, which is fantastic. Can you talk about the people that you have behind you, Dog, that are helping to support your investigation?
Well, there's several, many, and I can't name their names. but it's all, it's not like we're preaching in a church and taking offering. But there are a lot of people that have pledged their money to it's kind of tricky about rewards, okay? We want what happened to Sebastian. So the reward goes to whoever can tell us where Sebastian is and or what happened to him. And Joe, I hope this doesn't get me in trouble, but brother, since you've heard all this and you guys are good at Court TV, and who do you think did it?
Joe won't let me answer, so I'm gonna just leave it at that.
Attorney Ted, go ahead.
Yeah, gentlemen, thank you.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I already pulled my hand out, and I said, okay, I won't steal the cookie, and now he's like, no, you already busted me. I'm not answering it.
So you ruined it.
Oh, that was funny. Oh, that was too good. That was too good, man. What a night. We'll go into the Jacoff episode, Julia. Whenever we do, just reach out to me. We're going to go through that because there's a lot of interesting things that you said in that episode. We don't have time to do it tonight. We'll be doing it on the next show. So just reach out to me if you'd like to hop on for that too, because we're going to go through that. Also, there's a couple Nick episodes that we're going to go through on the next episode. And I also want to go through this dispatch audio again. Just message me anyway, any way that you're able to. I want to go through this. I know we've been wanting to for months and months and months. And now with this manhole stuff being talked about, I kind of want to have I kind of want to go through that dispatch audio again, considering all of the attention on the manhole stuff. So I think it'll be very important, but we'll do that on the next show. I'm going to be doing some Amber shows coming up here this week too, and also Micah, but we'll be kind of getting back into the Sebastian stuff too. Again, we'll be back in Tennessee. We'll be back in Tennessee mid next week on location, and plus to some other communities in Tennessee I'm going to be helping out as well. So we'll be spending a lot of time, not always in Hendersonville, but we'll be spending a lot of time in Tennessee here coming up for the next few weeks. So I want to say thank you again, Busby. Appreciate you hanging out. Here's his link if you're not subbed. And I want to say thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. Thank you for your patience for my couple-day break. Definitely needed it in a bunch of different ways, and I appreciate you guys' patience. It does mean everything. And we all got to take some breaks sometimes because it is, it's difficult.
Yeah, man, it gets to you. Definitely does.
Yeah, we're human beings. We're full of emotion too. Just we're able to kind of, like what you said earlier, compartmentalize, and sometimes it just kind of overflows and you're like, okay, I need to take a break. So it the level kind of settles back down a little bit. You can kind of.
I have to admit, I've had to go watch some cooking shows lately just to get my mind off of it.
I wish I could do some cooking shows, Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future. Maybe show y'all how to make my famous grilled cheese sometime. It's good too. Oh, it's good. It's good. People are like, how can you make famous grilled cheese? Just wait.
I got a grill to blow your mind, man.
I don't know, man. We'll see. I'll let you. We gotta. That'd be cool to have like a cook-off sometime or something. But
shout out to Julia. I never get to really talk to her in person. So
who's that?
Julia.
Oh yeah. And appreciate. Yeah, let me know. Reach out to me. We'll probably be doing that. Let me think. What is today? Wednesday. Probably tomorrow night, actually. I think we'll probably, because I'm going to be doing Amber on Friday and Saturday, Micah and Amber on Sunday, and then we're switching back to all the Sebastian, but we'll still be doing Amber shows even while I'm in Tennessee and back home because we've got a lot of stuff to do for that.
Right.
So I just want to say thank you all. Appreciate you very much. Please hit the like if you haven't yet. It is a free way to help. If you're not subscribed, please consider doing so. If you're not subscribed to Busby, please consider doing so. Here's his link again. And also, here's the link for the Manhole Theory Part 1 and 2 that I combined for you guys a couple days ago. We'll see you again tomorrow. Thank you again, Busby. Appreciate you. Thank you all for being a beautiful community and all your effort, because we really do make a difference out here in all these different cases that we cover, and I couldn't do it without you.
Have a great night, everybody.
Good night, everybody. Appreciate you. Love you. Please be safe, peaceful, and positive night. Until tomorrow. Contribution call out, Pam Silvis. Thank you so much for the $1.99 super sticker contribution call out. Thank you. Couldn't do it without you guys.
Okay over there? Is your victim at the hospital? Someone shot her. The ET doesn't take pictures of the police and domestic related? Anyone else close, might just let me know. 10-5, 33.